Most pastors think a new logo is a design project, something that makes their church look modern. That's part of it. But the reason behind it is much, much bigger. The logo is something that helps your vision become a reality. It makes it so people can see it, they can feel it, they can get behind it. The real reason that you want a new logo is that it becomes a leadership tool for the church to help move the church in a direction. I want to tell you today about Pastor Billy, who we helped design a new brand for their church, and they saw some really good benefits from it. So I want to unpack that for you. But in doing that, I want to also help you understand what a good logo does for your church. Most churches treat a logo like a design project. You pick a color that you like. Maybe you hire somebody to do it, and then you call it done. But here's what I've learned after building hundreds of brands for churches around the country for many, many years. A logo is a leadership tool. It's the moment your vision becomes real. It makes it so that it's visible. It's like creating the face of your brand, of your vision. You start putting it out there so people can actually see it and get behind it. A pastor who has a clear vision needs a visual identity to anchor it. The vision will stay in your head if you don't make it visible to the congregation and ultimately to your city. The congregation hears about the direction, but they can't see it. They can't touch it, and they can't share it with a friend. A logo gives the vision a face. It makes it so the mission is tangible. That's why a brand isn't a luxury, it's a leadership move. Before I get into the case study, I want to give you 4 things every good church logo needs to have. These are fundamentals, and they all connect back to the same idea. Your logo is a leadership tool. So a logo has to be simple. If someone has to work hard to understand what it is, to see it, to read it, it just doesn't work. Think of the best logos that you know of. The McDonald's arch. You could see it from 2 miles down the road on the highway, and you know exactly what it is. Think about where your logo shows up. A road sign that on the monument, outside the church. It's going to be on your Instagram profile. It's going to be on a T-shirt. It's going to be on maybe a coffee mug. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be really small. It's going to be very large. So it needs to land in under 2 seconds. Like somebody needs to see it and recognize it in a very short amount of time. If it takes any longer than that, it's too complicated. And honestly, that's one of the big mistakes that I see churches make, is that their logo design is too complicated. They're trying to communicate too many things all at once. The second thing is that your logo needs to be distinctive. That means it looks like it's yours. It doesn't look like 50 other churches that people have seen around town. There's a reason why so many churches look the same. Basically, they're trying to copy maybe the biggest church in town or the biggest church that they know of. And the problem is that your community doesn't live there. It's where you are. So your logo should feel like it belongs in your town. It's your neighborhood. You need to make it designed so that it's going to reach the people that are among where the church is located. Okay, the next thing is number 3, the logo needs to be relevant. That means the logo needs to reflect your church in a very genuine and unique way. It's your church culture, your community, your specific calling. That's what needs to be baked into this design. The logo for a church reaching blue-collar families in a small town should feel completely different from one that's reaching professionals in a large city. When your logo is relevant, the right people look at it and they feel like it was made for them. That's the powerful thing about a brand. It feels personal. Okay, and number 4, your logo needs to be versatile. It needs to work everywhere. It's going to be on all different types of media, different sizes, different formats and colors. You want to lock down some basics, but it needs to be able to be scalable to work on a lot of different media types. Should work on black and white. It should look great when it's scaled up or scaled down. It should be um, a good favicon. It should be readable at different sizes. So we just need to make sure that the logo looks really good. What we like to do is create a logo set. So maybe 3 to 4 different versions of the logo that are all locked into the brand and is able to be used on different types of media. So let me tell you about Radient Church. They're located in California, in the Sacramento area. This story is exactly what I've been talking about. This church had a new pastor stepping in, Pastor Billy, and he had a fresh vision for the church. The church had been around for a while, and he needed to move the congregation with him towards this vision. So the question was, how do we lead people somewhere that they can't see? So Pastor Billy came into this church. Again, it was existing. It had been around for a long time. He didn't build it from scratch, so he had to step into something that was already there, had a history, its own look, its own habits. So he had to have a clear vision, and that vision for Pastor Billy was that it was all about discipleship. So his vision was that this church would be a discipleship church that would, for the next decade, be really strong in this direction. The congregation couldn't see it yet. He needed to give them something to look at and to step into. So we built a brand around this discipleship mission, a logo, a color palette, typography, messaging, a new website. We even helped him with some signage and some printed materials. Look at where look at what you're seeing on this design. The radiant mark is a starburst. It has many parts that come together, representing the church, a community of people coming together. It's bursting out, meaning that this is the light of our community. This church is representing God's hope going into our community as a light. It communicates movement. It says something without even saying a word. So that just that mark by itself, that burst, has a lot of meaning and messaging behind it. Now, somebody's not going to see that and say, oh yeah, I see movement and community and all that. It's just going to feel right to them, and the story behind it is what causes that to happen. So the font is clear, it's strong, it's made with a font that's very timeless. It's going to be around for a long time. So we want to make sure that your logo is on par with that. It has a really good, rich meaning. So once Pastor Billy got this new branding in place, then he was really able to step into the vision. Change started to happen within the context of the church. It just really embodied his vision for what was needing to happen to move this congregation forward for the next 10 years. He could point to things, the sign, the logo, the website, the bulletin, the banners hanging in the lobby. And the congregation didn't just hear about it, they could see it, and they could even wear it. So what I want you to take away from the story of Radient Church is Pastor Billy didn't just get a new logo. He was getting a leadership tool to communicate his vision clearly so that the people could choose to carry it, to walk with it. They could pick it up and give their time towards it. Their talent, their giving, their presence, they can show up and get behind this new branding. So that's what a brand does for your church. When you do it right, it's not just a logo, it's really this leadership tool that you get to use. Now the logo is just a start. A lot of churches, they kind of stop with the logo, but really there's more to it. The logo is a seed. The brand is the whole plant. If you only plant the seed and never water it, it doesn't grow. So basically you need to get this brand out there, put it on different types of material, and then have that vision around the brand so it actually works for you. It creates momentum and a culture around your vision. So pick your colors, stay with them, stay consistent over a long period of time. Stay with your fonts. We like to choose about 2 fonts. That's your brand fonts. This is not going to be the logo font. The logo font's usually different. We want to protect that. We don't actually want to use the logo. That's a mistake I see a lot of churches do. They use the font in the logo on their materials, and it makes the logo get lost. You actually don't want to do that. You want to use two complementary fonts, a headline font and a body font that complement the logo. Okay, so that's a good tip. Hopefully that's something you can apply right away if you're already using the logo font in your designs. Okay, Radient Church, the gold shows up on the walls. It's bright, it's vibrant. It's their brand color. It's the same consistent color all the time on all materials. We give them a number value for all the colors. And again, the fonts that we choose, a lot of times we like to choose fonts that are in Canva so that we can design a lot of different things, or the team, the staff of the church can design a lot of different things, but they have the same fonts so that it looks iconic and recognizable. Okay, recognition builds trust, and trust helps people to take their next steps with you. So you need to have clear messaging. So the brand includes the messaging that goes with it. So we want to help you with this. We do a brand strategy session where we learn about your vision and then create language around that so that we can put it up on the walls, we could put it on social media, and it all communicates in the same direction. Your brand voice is important. We need to define what that is. Is it friendly? Is it caring? Is it upbeat and high energy? What does that sound like? What is the messaging needs to sound like for the church? So again, that's all part of the brand. So the logo, as you can see, is a small part of the brand. The bigger vision really drives the decisions around the other visual elements like the colors and the font. The brand should live everywhere. This logo should be on the website, on signage, on your social media, on your printed materials. It should be all around the entire facility as people enter through it. We don't want to be obnoxious. Like, you don't want to walk and you see branded everything. I don't know if you've ever been to Buc-ee's, but if you walk into a Buc-ee's, it's a gas station that's very, very large, and it just has like the Buc-ee beaver everywhere you look. It's printed on everything. That's a little bit obnoxious. We don't want to go that far, but we do want to make sure that the branding is seen throughout the facilities and also on our online digital material. I think churches sometimes make the mistake of putting it on everything, like every design has the logo on it. Use your judgment. It doesn't have to be on everything, but we do want to make sure that it is prominent on like the homepage of your website, or maybe you have a social media post and you might want to put the icon in the corner just so it ties back to one of the best things I've seen a church do is create the icon of their logo and have it as a magnet that people can put on their car. And then as people are driving around town, it just creates an impression all over town. So does your brand give your pastor something to lead with? That's really the big question. Again, your logo is a representation of that vision. It makes it so people can understand it, or at least get a feel for the vision, and the pastor, the leadership of the church can use that to then lead in that direction. So your logo is communicating something, whether you designed that or not. So take a look at your logo, and maybe you need a fresh design to make sure it's communicating the right thing. Every time somebody drives by your sign or sees your social profile or lands on your website, they're getting that message. What is that message? Make sure that it's in alignment with the design of your logo. The real question isn't do we have a logo? It's, does your brand give your pastor something to lead with? Does the brand give our leadership team the ability to lead our congregation? If you're stepping into a new season, a new role, or you have a fresh vision for your church, this might be a really good time to get your logo updated and refreshed with something that's new and reflects that vision. That way you can lead in that direction. A good time frame is about 7 years for a good logo. 7 to like 20 years or even 30 years. A good design should be able to stick around for as long as that vision is relevant. So let's make sure you're good as far as your logo, and then we can apply that to other things. If you're part of our growth plan, we hopefully have worked with your logo and helped you design that. If you're not and you need some help with that, make sure you reach out to us. but this video should give you all the tools you need to design a brand that's going to help you lead the church forward and get something that's right for you. The brand is really the fastest way to create momentum for the church, and momentum is typically what gives you the energy and the burst moving forward to see growth take place. So thanks for joining me in this video. This is Michael with Church Brand Guide. I'll see you next time.